What if I told you that Enoch, one of the most enigmatic figures in biblical history, ventured into the very heart of the Garden of Eden and uncovered the shocking truth about the forbidden fruit? A truth so profound that 90% of people are completely unaware of it. Today, we're peeling back the layers of ancient texts to reveal what has been concealed for millennia. Brace yourself, because what you're about to discover will challenge everything you thought you knew about this pivotal moment in human history. Before we plunge into this revelation, welcome to our channel, where we delve deep into hidden truths and untold stories of the Bible. If you're intrigued by the mysteries of the past and eager to uncover the secrets that have been kept from us, make sure to subscribe. We promise to continue bringing you the most captivating and enlightening content that will leave you questioning and wanting more. Now, let's unravel the mystery that's been shrouded in secrecy for ages. We all think we know the story Eve eats the forbidden fruit, leading to the downfall of humanity. Many have simplified this monumental event to the bite of an apple, while others speculate it symbolizes something far more profound and even ominous, like the act of defiance or forbidden knowledge. But today, we're not settling for surface-level interpretations or age-old theories. We're diving headfirst into one of the most explosive accounts from the Book of Enoch, where Enoch himself identifies the forbidden fruit explicitly. This isn't just another theory, it's a revelation that could rewrite our understanding of this ancient tale. But before we expose the true nature of the forbidden fruit, it's crucial to set the stage. For those unfamiliar, Eve wasn't just the first woman, she was the inception of humanity's complex journey with choice and consequence. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman. This is how Eve came into being, a being crafted to be a companion, yet destined to alter the course of history. The serpent, however, is where the story takes a dark and unexpected turn. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. We've been led to believe that this serpent was Lucifer himself, the embodiment of evil. But what if we've been misled? According to the clandestine passages in the Book of Enoch, the true deceiver wasn't Lucifer but a more insidious entity named Gadriel. While in the celestial realms, Enoch was privy to knowledge hidden from mankind. The angels disclosed to him the identity of the one who led humanity astray. Enoch records, and the third was named Gadriel. He is the one who showed the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve. This revelation is earth-shattering. It suggests that Lucifer has been bearing the weight of a sin committed by another, a fallen angel whose treachery has been obscured through the ages. Gadriel wasn't just a tempter, he was the catalyst for humanity's fall, introducing death and suffering into a world that knew neither. Imagine Eve residing in the unparalleled beauty of the Garden of Eden, a place of perfection and harmony. Into this paradise slithers Gadriel, not as a mere serpent but as a deceiver with a deadly agenda. He approaches Eve with cunning words. "Hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" Eve responds, aware of God's command, explaining that they may eat from any tree except for one, lest they die. But Gadriel insidiously counters, "Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." This wasn't just a temptation, it was psychological manipulation of the highest order. Gadriel exploited Eve's innate curiosity and desire for wisdom, twisting the truth to make rebellion seem righteous. He didn't just offer her a fruit, he offered her the illusion of divinity, a chance to be equal with God. This moment was the tipping point, the irreversible step that led to humanity's exile from paradise. But let's confront the question that's baffled scholars and theologians for centuries: what exactly was this forbidden fruit? The Bible remains cryptic, providing no specific details, leaving room for endless speculation. That's where Enoch's account becomes invaluable. Enoch, a man so righteous that he walked with God and was taken to heaven without tasting death, was granted visions and knowledge beyond human comprehension. He was escorted by angels to various realms, including the elusive Garden of Eden post-exile. In his writings, Enoch describes, "And I went east, into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness. It was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed forth from above." While this paints a vivid picture, it still doesn't specify the fruit. However, the symbolism is profound. The fruit wasn't just a physical object, it represented a forbidden knowledge or experience that humanity was not prepared to handle. Could it be that the forbidden fruit was a metaphor for something far more perilous, a forbidden wisdom or a cosmic secret? Some interpretations even suggest it could symbolize an illicit interaction with fallen beings, introducing concepts and technologies that humanity was never meant to possess. Enoch's revelations imply that the consequences of consuming this fruit were far more severe than mere disobedience. They introduced death, suffering, and a severance from divine grace. This isn't just about a fruit or a bite, it's about the catastrophic ramifications of defying divine order. The act opened Pandora's box, unleashing forces and knowledge that have haunted humanity ever since. Gadriel didn't just trick Eve, he unleashed a domino effect of calamity that echoes through every generation. So why has this critical piece of information been obscured? Why is Gadriel's name not common knowledge? Perhaps acknowledging Gadriel's role would unravel long-held beliefs and challenge the established narrative, forcing a reevaluation of theological doctrines. It's a truth that's inconvenient for those who prefer the simplicity of the traditional story. In unveiling this hidden truth, we're not just re-examining a familiar tale, we're confronting the darker aspects of our origins and the forces that have shaped human destiny. The story of Eve, Gadriel, and the forbidden fruit is a cautionary saga about the perils of temptation, the allure of forbidden knowledge, and the profound consequences that can arise from a single choice. Rushing like a copious watercourse which flowed towards the northwest, it caused clouds and dew to ascend on every side, and thence I went to another place in the desert and approached the east of this mountain range. And there I saw aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. And the trees also were similar to the almond tree. And beyond these I went afar to the east, and I saw another place, a valley full of water. And therein there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees such as the mastic. And on the sides of those valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon. And beyond these I proceeded to the east, and I saw other mountains, and amongst them were groves of trees, and there flowed forth from them nectar, which is named Syrara and Galbanum. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east of the ends of the earth, whereon were aloe trees, and all the trees were full of stacked, being like almond trees. And when one burnt it, it smelled sweeter than any fragrant odor. In the verses that Enoch mentions, most people believe he was talking about different parts of the Garden of Eden. He stated that he went to this isolated place that was in the desert, yet the place was filled with life, trees and plants. Enoch described another area in the garden filled with water, and he encountered another part of the garden where aromatic trees exude the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. These substances were highly valued in ancient times, often used in religious rituals and symbolizing holiness, divinity, and the presence of God. Enoch continued talking about different areas of this place by stating, "And after these fragrant odors, as I looked towards the north over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of choice-inert and fragrant trees and cinnamon and pepper. And thence I went over the summits of all these mountains, far towards the east of the earth, and passed above the Erythraean Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the angel Zothiel. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there, of goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful, and glorious. And the tree of wisdom, whereof they eat and know great wisdom, that tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves are like those of the carob tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine, very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Then I said, how beautiful is the tree, and how attractive is its look. Then Raphael, the holy angel, who was with me, answered me and said, this is the tree of wisdom of which thy father old in years and thy aged mother who were before thee have eaten, and they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. Pause. Do you want to read the Book of Giants or the Book of Adam and Eve, maybe even the early life of Jesus? Lucky for you, we have prepared a PDF file filled with thousands of apocryphas and helpful resources. Obviously, you can do this research yourself, but why work hard when we got you covered? We have placed all the books of the Bible and the links to find them in one place. Check the link in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Let's return to the video. Okay, did everyone hear that? No. Okay, Siri, let's repeat it for the people in the back. Enoch stated that the tree of knowledge looked like this. I came to the garden of righteousness and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there, of goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful and glorious, and the tree of wisdom whereof they eat, and know great wisdom. That tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves are like those of the carob tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine, very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Enoch lets us know that the fruit from this tree is like the clusters of the vine, which pretty much means grapes. This is what a cluster of vine looks like. Clusters of the vine refer to flower clusters that bloom and set grape berries. These clusters are formed from flower inflorescences that emerge in the second season as flower clusters. The stalk extending out to hold the grape cluster is known as the bunch stem, while the stem of the individual grape berry is the pedicel. Now, there you have it. According to Enoch, the forbidden fruit was most likely grapes. After Enoch described how the tree and fruit looked, Raphael stated to him, "This is the tree of wisdom, of which thy father old in years and thy aged mother who were before thee have eaten. And they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden." Raphael, one of the archangels who was showing Enoch around heavenly and earthly places, let Enoch know that this tree of wisdom was the exact tree that Adam and Eve ate from before they were banished from the Garden of Eden. Now, how do we know that Enoch is telling the truth? The truth is, we can never know 100% unless we have seen it ourselves. However, according to Enoch, he had seen it himself and shared the information with us. But most likely Enoch may have been on to something, because according to the Bible in Genesis chapter 2, the fruit and tree were described as pleasant. The Bible states, "And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life, also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil." Even Eve described the fruit and tree as pleasant and beautiful. The Bible states, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat." And Enoch pretty much described the fruit in the same way. He stated, "And I came to the garden of righteousness, and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there, of goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful, and glorious, and the tree of wisdom, whereof they eat and know great wisdom. And its leaves are like those of the carob tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine, very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar." Enoch also described the fruit as beautiful and pleasant to the eye, and even smelled great. Across all three descriptions, the tree of knowledge is depicted as a highly attractive and significant entity that is tied to the concept of wisdom and knowledge. Whether it's through God's initial creation, Eve's temptation, or Enoch's mystical vision, the tree represents both beauty and the potential for enlightenment, but also the consequences that come with seeking the wrong knowledge. Now you might be wondering, okay, but why do most people think that the forbidden fruit is an apple? Well, the truth is, the belief that the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden was an apple is a result of many factors. However, this idea is not actually rooted in the Bible itself, where the fruit is simply referred to as the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil without specifying its type. One significant factor in the association between the apple and the forbidden fruit is the Latin language. In Latin, the word for apple is malum, which bears a striking resemblance to the word malum, meaning evil or sin. This linguistic similarity likely played a role in early Christian interpretations, leading to the apple becoming symbolic of the original sin of Adam and Eve. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the apple was further entrenched as the forbidden fruit through cultural and artistic representations. During the Renaissance, artists began to visually depict the biblical story of the fall. The apple, being a common and easily recognizable fruit, was often chosen to represent the forbidden fruit in these artworks. Michelangelo's famous depiction of the fall in the Sistine Chapel is a prime example, where the apple is prominently shown as the fruit from the tree of knowledge. These artistic choices became ingrained in popular culture, reinforcing the idea that the forbidden fruit was an apple. In Europe, the apple was frequently used as a symbol of temptation and sin in literature and iconography. This symbolic use further solidified the connection between the apple and the forbidden fruit, especially as Christianity became deeply rooted in European Christendom. The influence of the King James Bible, which does not specify the type of fruit, also contributed to the spread of this misconception. As the Bible became widely used in English-speaking cultures, the imagery of the apple from contemporary art and literature helped to cement its place as the forbidden fruit in the popular imagination. In modern times, this association has been perpetuated through literature, film, and other forms of media, making the apple synonymous with the forbidden fruit in the minds of many. However, it's important to note that this belief is more a product of historical and cultural developments than of scriptural evidence. Basically, there is no scriptural evidence that states the forbidden fruit is actually an apple, whether directly from the Bible or extra-biblical texts. However, many people continue to believe this misconception. Even though the Bible does not directly say that the forbidden fruit is a grape, grapes play a significant role in the Bible, symbolizing fertility, abundance, and God's blessings. They are mentioned in various contexts, often reflecting prosperity and divine favor. One of the most notable examples is the story of the spies sent by Moses to explore the land of Canaan. When the spies return, they bring back a cluster of grapes so large that it had to be carried on a staff between two men. This event, recounted in Numbers 13:23, highlights the fertility of the promised land and serves as a tangible symbol of the blessings God had in store for the Israelites. The grapes represented the richness of the land and the hope for a prosperous future. In the New Testament, Jesus uses the imagery of a vineyard and grapes to teach important spiritual lessons. In John 15:1-8, Jesus says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit he prunes, that it may bear more fruit." Here the vine and the grapes symbolize the relationship between Jesus and his followers, emphasizing the importance of remaining spiritually connected to him to bear good fruit. Grapes are also mentioned in the context of judgment and divine wrath. In Revelation 14:18-20, the harvest of the earth is likened to a grape harvest, with the grapes being trampled in the winepress of God's wrath. This vivid imagery portrays the final judgment and the consequences of sin. Throughout the Bible, grapes are intertwined with themes of blessing, judgment, and the covenant relationship between God and his people. Now, this is just an idea based on one of the biblical words on what the possible fruit of knowledge or the fruit of good and evil could be. If you are interested in seeing other options, because some scholars believe the fruit might be sex or even words themselves, let me know by leaving a comment down below, and we will explore the other ideas. Or if you have a theory on what the tree of good and evil could be, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment. God bless you.